Hello, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here. Hey, 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 it's the phenomenal STEMist. Good evening, good evening, good night, good night, good night, everyone. Those of you who are watching now, those of you watching on the replay, I am so excited to have phenomenal financial freedom every
Yes.
Monday night.
Yes. Let's get it.
Let's get
Let's get it.
Listen, we got B Ford closes on first Mondays. Shout out to Brandon Ford. Hey, hey, hey.
Doc, thank you for having me on. All the blessings in the world to you. God be with you. All of that good love spreading your way. Thank you again. I'm truly humbled to be here.
Thank you so much. Listen, I flew in from Washington, D.C., got in at 7 o'clock to my home, 7:30.
Oh, and then you hopping on this situation.
Listen, I want you guys to know who are
Oh,
watching how important this is to me. Happy Labor Day, everyone.
I see
This,
Mama on the line. What's up, Mama?
hey, mom.
Mama Byfield. Yes.
What's going on? What's going on? She's greeting you. She's saying hi to you.
Hey, Mama.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, we have an interesting topic tonight. So just to let you guys know, just to remind you, this is quarter living. I'm having experts in different levels of wealth and finance and real estate coming on to really, truly, really try to empower communities, especially mine. I have a passionate passion for my community, and so um, Brandon Ford has years and years and years of experience in real estate. I'm going to let him reintroduce himself because he's been on the show quite a bit, and he's going to be on every first Monday. We're calling it Real Estate Mondays. Okay, every first Monday at 8:45 p.m. It's going to be me and him, God willing, unless something else comes up. Me and him all quarter long for the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the year. We're trying
Let's
to
do
make
it.
it. We're trying to get it. Who
Let's
else is
do
watching?
it.
I see a couple more people watching. Listen, today we're going to. Oh yeah, before we talk about what we're going to talk about, introduce yourself, Brandon. Tell
Sure,
us what
sure,
you're
sure.
doing.
My name is Brandon Ford. I am the regional broker for Sync Brokerage here in Orlando. I have been in business since 2003. My goodness, I am dating myself. 2003, 20
20 years
years in
experience.
real estate. Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am, and yes, sirs. I am your humble servant here in the Central Florida area. I am first and foremost a servant of God, and I'm here to serve. Thank you, Maya, again for having me on your show.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, I want to ask this question before we get into it. What's the difference between a real estate broker, a mortgage broker, and a real estate agent? There's three different types of people, right?
Uh-huh. Three different types. Basically, license designation. That's really all it is
Mhm.
on the legal side. Mortgage broker, it has a whole different type of licensing.
Mhm.
They're on the mortgage side and mortgage-backed securities. Having a mortgage broker's license is almost like having a securities license,
Mm.
and a broker's license is just basically the difference between a teacher and a professor, more or less.
Mhm.
You within the first, if you've been serving in real estate for 3 to 5 years consistently, you can apply for your broker's license. You have to pass a state exam, another set of hours as far as CU hours, take a course, and then you too can also become a broker and also at some point open up an office with your name on it. And
Mm.
that's how that goes.
Okay, so that's the difference between a real estate agent and a real estate broker, just to let you guys know. So, and Brandon is a broker, just to let you know. So he has 20 years of experience and he has some licensures behind the belt. So he knows what he's talking about. And that's why I want people that know what they're talking about. For the last 10 years, I've been on just going based on articles. And it's been very helpful to a lot of people. Shout out to those of you who are on Phenomenal Financial Freedom who watch and who tell me all the time that you've been positively impacted by the show. But we trying to take it to the next level, and we will try to do it not by myself, but with people
Mm,
and people with experience. So it's the same format, though. We're going to be talking about articles that I'm reading and how it's relevant to our community. So I posted the article on Phenomenal Financial Freedom is how U.S. home values have changed over the last 20 years.
mhm,
I thought that was a very interesting article. I think about it because how of my age. So I turned 45 this year. So I finally lived through history as an adult. I can look back 20 years and look back and say, oh, I was 25 years old 20 years ago. I was a grown woman. I had a master's degree. I was on my way to a PhD. I was still in school at the time, but I was getting paid. I had a job. I was taking care of myself. And I remember from 25 years old to 45 years old, things that I've made mistakes in, things that I haven't. I said, you know what? 20 years from now, like, do I want to make the same mistakes that I made at 25?
mm,
I want us to look back 20 years ago, and they broke the last 20 years into two phases.
mm,
They broke it down into the the Great Decline phase,
mhm, mhm.
the 2006 to 2012 phase. Everybody like I lived through that phase. I had
Ooh,
just gotten my PhD.
ooh, still give me chills. Still gives me
Woo!
chills. Mercy.
I had just gotten my PhD in 2006. Started working. I got into the stock market. I did. I started investing. I lived in my aunt's house, a basement apartment, just chilling, living my life. My
Mm,
mother gave me her car.
all right.
I didn't have to have a car note.
Thank you, Mama.
I should have kept it. I made a mistake in 2008 to buy a brand new one.
Oh
Listen,
man. Oh man.
I
Oh
didn't buy a
man.
house in 2008.
Hindsight is 2020.
Oh man, I bought a brand new car, brand new Nissan Altima Coupe. Remember, meanwhile, I'm buying stocks and I have a car. I'm living
All
life.
right. All
I
right.
hear the word, oh, the stock market's about to crash. 2008 September. I hear the word. I remember this is when Lehman Brothers were
Lehman Brothers. Yep.
when they were about to listen. I remember Brandon. We own now, Brandon. We can say
Yup.
I remember. I remember they said they're gonna have this meeting over the weekend, and if this meeting doesn't go well, it's gonna be hell on Monday. So if you need the money within the next 5 years, get
Mhm.
it out now. I never forget it. And I had just decided to quit my job, so I quit my job,
Mm,
knowing this was gonna happen. But I
mm,
sold my stocks to take care of myself during this time,
mm, mm.
right before the decline. So I didn't lose money. Not I didn't lose. We're gonna talk about that later. We
Keep it real in the church today.
I'm
Keep it real, Mike. Keep it real.
My mother said that car was no good. You made a good decision. Ma,
Okay.
I think I could have held on to the
Okay.
Camry a little longer. I really
Okay.
really could have
Okay.
held on to the Camry a little longer. She said I made a good decision. I don't know about that, but well, okay. I don't remember what was going on with the car, to be honest. So she probably is like, well, the car was going bad and da 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 da. Okay, but anyway, what was going on with you in 2006 to 2012? This great decline. This is
Mm, mm. First of all, I
go.
just want to context the conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
If we were having this off panel, I think we
yeah.
should bring this in on the
Okay,
conversation, right?
fine.
It is very important for our community,
Yeah.
really anyone, but specifically for our community. We have to learn to tell time.
Tell time.
We have to. We
Tell
have to
time.
learn to tell time. We have to know when the right time is to buy
Yes.
and the right time is to sell. And when you buy, you have to be realistic about your own finances. Don't overbuy. Otherwise, you'll be one of the first stats. You'll be a statistic when it's time to sell. You'll be selling right when people are looking to buy. And
Yeah.
guess what? They're not buying at a premium. In
Mm-hmm.
down markets, they're not buying, they're not trying to give you more than the value for your property. What
Right.
they're trying to do is negotiate with you. And
Mm-hmm.
chances are you're going to be selling your property for way lower
Then it should be.
than you should have gotten, than you should have been
Mm-hmm.
able to sell for in a high market. So, I just want to context that. Let's make that rewind back to 2006 to 12. To be honest with you, the times that you are going to experience an up market are way smaller than the times that you will experience a down market.
That's a word right there. Say it. Say it slow. Say
Say
that.
it slowly.
Say
All
that
right.
again.
The times you will experience a high market, high appreciation, people offering you, 10, 20, $30,000 over your property. Those times are way shorter than the times that you'll be down for in the real estate market. I can't account for stock. That's a different animal.
Yeah, yeah. We talk about real estate today.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, in the finance classes I've been into, they've always said that the real estate market on the downside is sticky. As when they say that, that means that it goes down slowly and then it comes back up slowly.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's up for like 2 to 3 years. So let's go back. 2006.
Yeah.
2003 to 2006, like the article explained, I actually agree with that.
Mm.
2003 is more or less when things were really going crazy. We saw all kinds of stuff at the
Bubbling.
time. Oh my goodness. They were talking about bubbles the entire time, but no one paid attention
Nobody
because
cares.
everybody was making money. Condo conversions were a thing back then, right? New construction was on. One of the trends back in those days were, and mommy, maybe you know about this, they'd have these long lines outside of these developers' offices, and people will get something under contract.
Yep.
They will walk just a few folks down the line and say, "I'll sell you this contract for 20 grand."
Like flipped it
Right? You
right.
ain't even left the property yet.
Didn't even build a house yet. My mother was buying in 2005. She bought her house in Florida in 2005 when this
There
was
you go.
happening.
There you
Yep.
go. There you
Yep.
go. So there's
And
that.
every she would come to Florida, and every 3 months the prices kept jumping thousands of dollars higher.
The average was between 20 and 25% every 3 months, which is
Yep.
ridiculous. It's
Yep.
ridiculous. In
Yep.
Miami, it was, oh my goodness, I've never seen such a thing. And to come up in real estate in that kind of bubble, I mean, how old was I? I was 20, 23, 24 years old, somewhere in there, 25. And to see that, now here's the thing. You grow up in that sort of thing, you think that
That's
this
how
is how
it's
real estate,
normal.
this is normal. This is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Everybody at that time would tell you real estate never goes up or never goes down.
Yes.
It always goes up. And
Yeah.
these are my constituents. These are not constituents, but these are my peers. These are people that are coming up at the same time as I am. They got their license in the early 2000s. So
Hmm.
as far as they know, real estate has always gone up.
As far as they know, for sure.
So I went in. I did what everybody else was doing. I bought some properties. I own like 3 properties. I had one that I was building, or more or less in a state of construction. I was trying to flip in a very good area now, is off the chain area in Miami called the Design
Mm,
District. I mean, that area is completely taken off now.
mm-hmm.
But I own some land in Ocala back when you can get some land for 10 and 5 grand. My goodness, so cheap.
Yeah.
So I had all this property, and it was right around 2007 that my mentor at that time was telling me, Brandon, it's time to sell. I said, sell what? My car? What are we selling? He said, no, Brandon, you need to sell like all of your real estate and maybe keep the cheapest thing you have and live in that. And I'm like, what are you telling me? You're the one who's telling me to get out there and sell, sell, sell for two,
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me I must sell my own stuff? He said, you need to know what season you're about to be in. And right now
Mhm.
you're about to be in a season where it's going to be difficult to sell. I'm getting revelations vibes. Oh my goodness. Anyway, buy and sell.
Yeah.
Leave that alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Buy and sell.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
My
So
mother, my mother. Well, we're gonna get into the questions later, Ma. But she was like $30,000 every time she would go back.
there
It
you
was
go.
30,000, and her realtor told her she could actually, when went on the contract, she could have flipped it without even, because it was 2005. So, she could have done that. Yeah, yeah,
Without a doubt.
yeah.
And I'll fast forward this for the sake of time.
Hmm.
Basically, 2008 happened, and what he told me came to pass. I don't know which one hit first. Maybe it was the mortgage-backed securities that, over time, with so many investors buying those, when it was kind of a linchpin, one started to go into default, and then hundreds of them started to go into default, and then thousands of them started to go in default. And then those packages that they packaged up and sold to investors, they realized it was a bad deal. They couldn't sell it.
Right.
And it was just one thing after another. I'm not sure if it was that, or if it was the Lehman Brothers thing. And then, or was it the auto industry? I just don't know. But
Whatever. It was
uh,
it was precipitous. And like
yeah.
last week, like Delani said, he's like, we are entering some times where it's like
Mhm.
a lot, like some. Anyway, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So yeah, man, the values just started to go from there. I remember we had a hurricane that year as well. And after the hurricane, it seemed to me that Florida, yes, mama, greed, so true. Say that thing in cap. Greed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um, After 2008, the investments I had at that time were depreciating rapidly. I was able to sell one home and get some of my money back, which was good. And then I decided to move into what I called my nest egg, which was the property in downtown Miami, Miami Design District, because
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that if I held on to that, if I can
That one.
weather the storm,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be okay. But
Mm-hmm.
nobody was selling at that time, and it was very difficult for you to sell as a realtor.
No one was buying at that time, you mean, or nobody's?
Well, nobody was selling at that time either, because
Oh,
they saw that the prices were falling off a cliff. So
oh, so they didn't
a
want to
lot
sell
of people
it. Got you.
got scared, and, well, I don't know if I can get what I want out of my property, so we're just going to wait it
Right.
out.
Wait it out. This
You
sounds
had
very familiar. That
Yeah,
sounds very familiar, Brandon. Go ahead, I'm
yeah,
listening.
and you had a lot of buyers out there that were looking to buy, but at the same time, it was mostly, honestly, it was mostly people who are looking for homes to live in, but the homes weren't appraising for what they were in the past. So what you had were a lot of deals that were falling apart. You would get a person that would put a home under contract for 400,000, and then when the appraiser came out, the drop was happening almost as fast as it was going up. So you had
Hmm.
it under contract for 400, it was appraising for 380.
Wow.
You waited another month, it was appraising for 370 and
Ooh,
355 and then 342.
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because you're paying mortgage on the 480.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So people were walking away from deals. The buyers got spooked. They backed out. And really, the only thing you could really do at that time as a realtor was actually rent property, because rents were so low at that time, and people were and
Mhm.
foreclose the rate of foreclosures were unparalleled. People were losing their homes left and right. Really, the only thing they could do with their bad credit is rent. And back then, they weren't checking credit like they
Yeah,
do now. They weren't doing credit checks and all these other things. Most property was owned by individuals at that time, not huge corporations like they are now.
corporations. Wow. So I'm thinking about we're gonna get to now shortly, guys. We're gonna get to, but you bringing me now like it's happening now, but also rent like you can't do either. This is a scary. Wait. Okay, let's keep
Mercy.
it right where we are right now.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that
Yes,
was
ma'am.
happened 2006. You know, when I think about, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I think this screen of this. Not that.
Uh-huh. Oh, you don't need that. Scroll down.
Scroll down.
Yes, ma'am.
You see, it's this right here. You see, 2003. Look at the boom in prices. Up. I'm talking about line graphs. It's still mathematics. Up,
Hmm.
and then look what happens. Crashes down. Crashes down. It was a big boom. And they say, oh, it never goes up. It was just going to keep going up. Nope. It crashed
Hmm.
down. It crashed down. So it's like, it's wow.
Yeah. So that's what happened from a personal level for
Mhm.
me and what I experienced in Miami and what was no doubt happening all over Florida. We
Yeah.
didn't hit the bottom until right around 2010. I'd
Yep.
say 2012 is a good
12
2010 to 12 is where we found our bottom.
Yep. And I bought
And
mine in 2013. So I had
oh,
the
beautiful,
value. I
beautiful.
had the value of catching all the way. It was just it went down to the bottom and it was just cresting upward. And I got my house right then and
I
there.
love it. I love it. You don't
I,
sell that thing for
no,
nothing.
sir. No,
You
sir.
hang on to that thing.
It
Hang
was a
on.
blessing to have, and I will never sell it. I
There
will
you
never
go.
sell it. And I won't even brag about that I knew how to tell time. What I will say is my 60-year-old uncle, because he's in his 70s now. So my 60-year-old uncle told me, Maya, it's time to
Mm.
buy.
He knew how to tell time.
He
I love
knew
it.
how to tell time, and my young self heard and obeyed.
Oh, you listen. Hallelujah.
My
Hallelujah.
mother says,
Hallelujah.
"What about me? What about me?" Mama,
Ah!
you didn't tell me to buy. Did you tell me to buy?
Ah, Mama Day never
Mommy was
remembers.
fine with me living up in the house. But what my mother did, my mother, I feel like she trained me in many other ways in terms of management of money. That's what I learned with my mother.
Love it.
Management money. And I feel like she also knew how to tell time because she was able to she downsized during the bubble.
Hmm.
Remember, she bought her New York property at way low. And she downsized during the bubble and moved to Florida just in time for me to get myself to come up and me get my bottom of the bubble. She got
Hallelujah.
her bottom of the bubble in 86. I
Mm,
got my bottom of the bubble in 2013. And we both are homeowners, thank God.
I
She's
love it.
mortgage free. Mortgage
Oh,
free.
yes. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's the best blessing. Mortgage free. Say that one more time.
Mortgage
Oh,
free. She's
yes.
talking about, so she says we praising God she's mortgage free, and guess what she talking about? Selling. You ain't selling. I'm not selling. You're not
Ah,
selling, mommy.
Mama, listen, Mama. It's not the right time to sell, Mama. We're
It is
not.
not
We're not in the
the
sell market.
right.
If you really want to know, I'll tell you when. But now is not the time. You need to keep what you
She
got,
ain't.
Mama.
It's
Keep
never
what
the
you
time. So
got.
it's a real estate. That's a prop. That's an investment
Eh,
property that we got on our hands. Okay. So 20. So let's move on.
mhm.
Let's move on to 20 2012 to 20 to now.
Okay.
It's they call it the booming recovery.
Okay. So to be fair,
Hmm.
I think booming is a bit misleading. I wouldn't call it booming. I'd say between 2012 to like 2015,
It's a
it was still reboundy.
rebalancing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was still
rebalancing.
reboundy. and you can get a lot of good deals were gotten in that time. There's an area in Miami called Miami Shores. We were able to put a mother out of what we call the pork and beans projects. This is a very bad area of um, of Miami.
But my friend was just talking about the pork and beans.
There you go. She'll know. She'll know. She'll know. Listen, that area is not to be trifled with. It's over in historic. The name escapes me, but basically downtown Miami,
Hmm.
south of 15th Street, over on the west side of the of I 95.
Hmm.
That whole area down there it is not safe to live there. And we were able to move her out of there into Miami Shores. We bought her a home for somewhere around $125,000. I still remember that sale to this day
Ooh,
because the same home in a Miami Shores neighborhood today is going to run you 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom is going to run you north of $500,000 today.
wow.
Today. hmm Most homes, and the further you get or the closer you get to the water, then we're talking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And then that's how that goes. But a lot of good folks actually was able to get out of the hood and get into better neighborhoods in Miami because the prices were much much lower. So that worked out great for a lot of families. So that was that kind of nice little slide there.
Hmm.
2005 things picked up a little bit. 2015 I should say.
215.
Yeah.
So by 2018, I'm looking at the same graph. By 2018, gotten rebounded, fully rebounded.
Yeah, yeah. By 2018, you're fully rebounded, and it is on and popping. We're starting to get sales coming in. Things are going, but even that was still not as. I mean, I could see the
So,
incline is a
hmm.
little more sharp, but in my humble opinion, I think that the 2020 to 2023 years
Hmm.
were actually more of a fever pitch than they were in the 2018 to 2020 years,
That's true. You can
in
see.
my humble opinion.
I agree. I agree. Can you explain what fever pitch is?
So when I say fever pitch in 2020, we couldn't leave our homes, basically, right? So
Mhm.
I guess people were in their own homes. Were thinking, I don't like this place. This place is ugly. I need to get out of my own house, and they just got out there and they started buying. And really, all they could do is, I mean, at that point, we've advanced to such a degree technologically that we could see a whole house online, yeah,
Yeah.
virtual tours and all that stuff. So you can actually legit see a whole house online. You can go in person when it's time to go, see the whole thing and whatever, and buy the property. Um,
What's up,
you,
Drew? I see you. He's like, word.
you already know the deal. And really, the only thing either you were buying a house or you were watching reruns or you were watching what's that Michael Jordan joint?
uh, um,
I forget what it is, but you know what I'm talking about.
last dance.
Last Dance. Yes. Yes. So it was crazy. Selling property at that time, people would come up to your door as a first offer, $20,000 over what you were asking, as a first offer. And
Mm.
yes, interest rates were extremely low at that time, still, absolutely. And that's kind of another part of this conversation. But again, we just
No,
don't
he's
have all
not,
the
Drew.
time.
We're not gonna have this argument. No, he ain't.
This is a real estate conversation, my brother. I'm not gonna get into it. Maya already know how I feel about it. But we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that. 2020 to 2023 was crazy, and now the chickens have come home to roost because
Mm.
now at this point the interest rates are so high to so many people, and the honest truth is, guys, I'm going to tell you the truth about it. They're actually not high at all. That's the truth. I know
No,
from
I coming from
3%.
you. I have a 3.5% mortgage. Shout out.
No,
Shout
no,
out.
hey, we got a whole
For me, that's
generation on
free.
2 to 5, 2 to 3. You got a
Right,
whole generation on 2 to 4.
right. But truth be told, like you said, in 2005, mortgage rates were like 5, 6%.
That's
That was
normal.
that was normal.
That's
Yeah.
normal.
Go
Where
ahead.
we
Finish
are
this
is
one.
we found normal is where we are. Look, we could not. The government couldn't possibly keep it at that low. Basically, that's emergency level interest rates.
Yeah.
Okay, we're past the wilderness as far as
Right.
Children of Israel is concerned. We off the manna now. We way off into Canaan, y'all. Some of y'all need to get off the manna. Y'all need to stop looking for manna in the sky, and y'all
Milk
need.
and honey. Get on milk and honey.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So that's the
Or
situation.
you should have told time when you had the shot. Did you tell time? That's the theme. Do you know what time it is? That's the name of the that's the talk today, Brandon.
Yeah,
You know what time it is? Go ahead.
I know what time it is. Thank the Lord through experience,
Right.
bumps and bruises, and I we've come to find out what time it is. And right now we're in 2007, like I was telling you off panel. In my humble
Hold up.
opinion.
Let's take that slow.
All
Guys,
right.
y'all listening? Y'all listening to this 20-year vet? I'm gonna give you heard what I said in the beginning. Well, I didn't say it, but it's a part of my intro. Like we're not giving any advice or anything, even though he is a licensed broker. So like but this is about people speaking and experience speaking. So I want you to slow down and tell us where are we? So we gave a brief synopsis of the last 20 years.
Mhm.
Where do you think we are right now in this time? And then explain to me why you feel that way.
So, 20 years ago, actually more like 15 years ago, my mentor was telling me, Brandon, it's time for you to make some changes. Now I am the mentor
Mm-hmm.
telling other agents half my age, it's
Mm-hmm.
time for you to change up your hustle. It's time to change.
Mm-hmm.
The days that you were getting what you were getting as far as interest rates, as far as if you're on the sales side, the appreciation, the amount of money you were making. I see, my man. What's the mandate? I don't know what that means
That's
personally.
You own a that's tech lady, June. You own a
Okay,
she's like
okay.
yeah.
I'll
So
get I'll get to you, Dre. I'll get to you, Dre. I'll get to you. I see where you're going with it, brother. It's not as bad. It's not as bad. I'm going to help you out here in a minute. From my humble opinion, we're in the time of 2007. No, not as bad as 2007 and 2008. That was a global crash.
yeah,
And it's different for many reasons. The real estate market was affecting the economy.
right.
In this particular situation, the economy is affecting the real estate market, right? The
Mm-hmm.
interest rates are high. People are buying less or not are scared to buy, and people are afraid to sell now because values are going down, and they don't want to and sell and buy what at this high interest rate. They're thinking, no, I want to keep mines. I'm at a nice, comfortable 3 and 4. I'm going to stay here, and when the interest rates go down, they're not. But they think they will maybe next year or the following year. It's not going to happen unless we have another 2008, and I pray to God that we don't.
Mm-hmm.
But unless it's that bad, that's when they'll think about dropping the interest rates to record lows so that people can to stimulate the market again. But right now, I don't see that happening, guys. So I would say 2007, as far as people needing to change and understand that the season is about to change, and then our 2008 is going to be more of a, I would say, selected areas that are feeling a crunch, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to
The whole
globally.
global, everybody, the whole
Right.
world, and then the stock market feeling it because you were selling these subprime mortgage and bundling them in algorithms, and then AIG was insuring it, so AIG crashed. This crash. It was just a hot mess, and
Hamas.
it it infiltrated everything. But now you're just focusing on real estate, and you're saying we're talking about telling time. Like what time do you know what time it is?
Hmm.
Because like we started the show, our community, unfortunately, we have this issue where we don't know how to tell time. What we do when we are selling, people are buying, and when we are buying, people are selling.
Hmm.
And we got to start getting the scholars out here. That's why I'm here. We got to get the scholars out here and the people who have experience to teach us to start. Listen, we got to know how to tell time.
Most def. Most
Yeah, yeah,
def.
yeah. So you're saying so, and what's crazy? about the economy affecting real estate, Brandon, it's just so many things, the in Florida, just specifically Florida, my my mortgage shot up because of my home insurance.
Oh, ho, ho.
So
Yes.
so we're
Let's
talking about,
talk about it.
let's talk about over leveraging ourselves. One of the issues of the reasons why we feel like we have to sell is because we over leveraged ourselves in the boom time, and then now we're desperate when these crashes happen, and we're forced to sell versus if something happens and things happen and whatever property value, I'm still in this house. My mortgage is still low. I'm not over leveraged. God willing, I have a great job, right? So, but so many people are over leveraging themselves. So when it happens, they have to force themselves to sell. So the insurances are high right now.
Hmm.
The rent, you said the back in the day in '08, at least people could go rent and people weren't checking credit score. Now it, it's more money to rent a house here than it is to pay mortgage.
Yeah, I'm
So
not renting. I'm not renting. Uh, so if I had to, and I'm kind of there.
mhm,
If I had to go turn back the hands of time, but I'm now doing what I should have done
mhm,
in the 2006, 2008. Not to much. If I had the money,
mhm,
I mean, I'd have way more as far as investment properties are concerned. But I'm slowly getting there. I think pacing is important too. That's
mhm,
another thing.
mhm,
But I would say that if you're still interested in buying a home, I would say as a buyer, now actually is a better time to buy than it had been even even at the times that are low interest rates, because the values and the well, let me back up and say it this way. The pricing is falling at such a rate that you can negotiate now more than you ever could back then. Back then they weren't trying to hear it. It's this amount and that's it. And they had four or five other offers to back that up. Now, sellers that are trying to get retail for their property they're not getting it. They're not getting the retail that the
mm,
prices they were getting a year ago, 6 months ago. So now they're open to hearing suggestions. I have some properties in certain areas like Lakeland last year that was appraising for 350, now is appraising for 300,000. You have some areas in even Tampa where you've seen up to a 20% decrease in pricing value. Now, there's a difference between appraised value and pricing value. Pricing value is more or less what the market will give you for your home. And
mm,
appraised value is what the appraisal will come out and give you tell you what your home is worth based on what other homes in the area are selling for. Those are two different things. Just because your home appraises for this doesn't mean the market will give you that for your house. So that's a very a distinct difference here, and I think that most people don't understand. So yeah, right now, if yeah, the interest rates have doubled,
mm.
but if you can get a mortgage for if you can get a price on a home for 20% less than before, then that's gonna kind of balance you out because you're at
Right.
6%, but then the pricing is way lower.
Mhm.
And your pricing, aside from the interest rate, is also based on your what? The price that you bought the property
Bought the
for.
property for. So that since it's lower, the interest rate will the interest on the loan will be lower.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Deanna said something interesting. Many blacks can only get the approval when it's a selling time in a seller's market. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. And the reason why I don't agree with that is because I think many folks of our persuasion are trying to get more out of an approval than I think they would like they can actually afford. Like for instance, there are people out there. I'll say it like this: there are people out there that they don't want to buy unless they can buy for 350, 400,000. Okay, I understand, I get it. But now that the interest rates are higher, you'll be approving for a lot less. And because we approve for a lot less, that sends a signal to us that, well, now I can't afford enough, I shouldn't go out and shop.
Mm,
And that's just not true. There are opportunities out there. You just have to figure out where exactly you would like to live based on whatever the indicators are for you.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what the value, what's going on in that neighborhood. Are the prices falling? How much have they fell between this year and last year, this time this year and last year,
Do your
6
research,
months from now?
guys.
Right. Do your research. And if they're still pricing you out, just wait. Just be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Wait it out. This
Mm.
is the time to be patient. You don't have to rush out there and try to see what you can do.
Mommy,
Wait it
it's the
out on the
time to
6
be
months.
patient. It's the time to be patient to get what you want. It's
Yeah,
not about getting. It's like know what time it is. We're in this time of falling prices. We're in this time of, it seems, negotiation, and it's a time of patience to get what you desire. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't force it.
Of
If you
course.
still can't afford it where you would like to be, just wait. Just wait.
You know, but they pressure people all the time. Say if you wait, it's gonna go up, and you have. I saw somebody today say, "Oh my God! As soon as the interest rates fall, there's gonna be a massive boom in the housing market."
You know
Who
what?
just said today? So there's different people talking, y'all. Go ahead.
There's a lot. There's a lot of people saying all kinds of stuff. I like phrases. The truth about phrases is that they go both ways. People think that phrases, when they hear them the first time, they only go for one particular situation, but
Right.
they can always go both ways too. For instance, people say, scared money don't make money. Yes, that's true.
Hmm.
But it also works on the opposite end. They say scared money doesn't make money, as in, if you're not
Yeah. Take
courageous to
risk.
spend,
Yeah.
you're going to lose.
Right.
Well, it can work on the other side too. People that are scared financially wind up making the worst financial decisions.
Hmm.
So people, they have very itchy ears, right? So it's like, hurry up and buy something, or it's gonna keep going up if you don't hurry up and buy. So like, oh, I better hurry up and spend my money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They,
No,
they don't take the time to think it through, be wise. It's
that's it.
about wisdom here, guys.
That's it. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So my mother asked, "What about first-time home buyers?"
First time home buyers, it's always been good for first time home buyers.
Mhm.
They have, I mean, I think I've even said this on your show a couple of times now. They have all kinds of first time home buyer down payment assistance programs. Something that I'm just now finding out more about, something called USDA loans, which
Mhm.
I've heard about my whole career, but they're the only product out there right now other than VA that's offering 100% financing. The only downside is you have to buy in areas where USDA loans are in
Allowed or something.
yeah, they have regions of states where they'll allow for a USDA loan. So you just have to know where they are in this particular area, and then just buy a home there, right?
Mhm.
So you just have to, talk to a mortgage broker. They have literally all the information the good ones do. And if you don't know any good ones, just get me on the phone. I'm
Mhm.
happy to give you a few referrals of some
Mhm.
folks that I'm currently working with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So, listen, I wanted to start this off because I really, really want us to have vision. I want our community to have vision. I want more of us, I'm glad I bought 10 years ago, and I'm glad I bought 10 years ago. I'm sure my mother is glad she bought 40 years ago. You got to see
Mm,
far.
40 years. Wow, 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 wow.
You got to see far. Like, I want us to start thinking, okay, it's 2023 now. What I can't necessarily predict what 2043 will look like, but I do want to have a vision in terms of real estate for 2043.
Mm, hmm,
And it's like, don't
hmm.
over what I'm hearing tonight. This is what I'm hearing from you tonight, Brandon. I'm hearing we got to do better at telling time. I'm hearing from you, we as a community have got to stop over leveraging ourselves so that when times of desperation come, we're not forced to sell things in desperation and lose, because that's usually what happens. We're selling when everybody's buying, and we're buying when everybody's selling.
Oh, Steph.
We have to stop over leveraging ourselves, and we have to be wise and patient in our purchases, not scared, but wise and patient in our purchases. And I'm also hearing it's time to stock up cash because what I'm hearing from you is people right now, they're not buying right now. They're sitting and they're stocking cash because they're waiting for a further decline so they can invest. You told me that the investor. Tell me that statistic. We're gonna
Uh,
close with that. That statistic where investors that are buy with cash, how are they behaving right now?
According to a stat that I got from my broker, he's basically one of the guy that runs the Miami side of things for Sync Brokerage. Uh, he sent us an article that states that 45%. There's been a 45% decline in investor purchases.
45% decline in cash,
Yeah.
right?
So those are cash purchases. People that are coming in cash to buy property. So when that happens, when you see a drawback in cash, they're holding their money because they think they'll make more when the decrease kind of sharpens out. And those are the folks that are the most patient, right? Because when they smell that there's a bottom that is to be, we haven't reached the bottom yet,
Right.
they're holding off until we get there. And when we get there, we'll see a new stat that says 50% increase in investor spending. So again, just knowing how to tell time when you see stats like that, understand where we are.
That's how you tell time. Statistics. M for mathematics. M for mathematics.
I
40.
thought M stood for money, man. There we go.
M for mathematics. Making money.
Amen, amen, amen.
Right? 45% decline. They holding out, guys, because they know they can make more on their buck. They can get a bigger bang for their buck. So we got to start stocking cash. We got to start in saving our money. Stop spending money on depreciable things that do not appreciate in value. And we got to start telling time as a people.
Mhm.
Brandon, this has been an awesome conversation. My mom says, you mean no down payment? Yeah, USD loan, no down payment, mommy.
100%,
Yeah,
100%, mama.
no down payment.
Mhm.
Thoris, what's going on? Says, I was looking to buy in 2007. I didn't understand why then, but God lined everything up for me to buy in 2013, and I'm so grateful.
Amen. Amen. Patient money. Patient money.
Patient
Yes.
money.
Yes. Patient
Patient
money.
money. Yeah,
Yes.
Yolanda, thank you so much for watching. We had a good show tonight. A lot of people commenting, a lot of people watching. Thanks, Giandria. Thank you, Drew. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Doris. Thanks, Yona. It was a great conversation. And as always, before it closes, do I have your information? I don't think I have any of your information.
Well, you
Was,
should. I'm okay. You can give my whole cell phone on this
was
situation.
it 407 634
I'm
6761?
no, I'm gonna give you the Miami 305 305 0105. I know it sounds fake, but it's my actual number. 305 305 0105. Or you can catch me at on my office handle. That's Brandon at sync sync brokerage.com. Brandon at sync brokerage.com.
Brandon at syncbrokerage.com, or you could call them. The numbers scrolling on the ticker,
That's
three
it.
o five 305
0105. I am here
305.
for you.
That's fun. That's fun. It's fun. Don't forget, guys. Please subscribe. Please share my YouTube channel. It's gonna be a fire quarter, fourth quarter living.
Fourth
Right?
quarter, y'all. Fourth quarter living.
We kick it off with a bang tonight with Real Estate Monday. That's all first Mondays. Brandon will be coming to talk to us about some article that we've read about real estate and giving his expertise. And next week, health is wealth.
Ooh,
Don't miss
tuning
it.
in for that. Tuning in for that.
Include if that. It don't
Yes.
matter how much money you have, how much real estate properties if you have. If you're stuck in the hospital, can't live, you're gonna be paying off
Mm,
all that money to the hospital system, or you definitely won't be enjoying it. So health is wealth next week. This has been great. Thank you so much. See you guys. I'm the phenomenal STEMist.
Later, y'all.
So is he.
Mm.